Now at 6 on Sunrise this morning, the search for an escaped inmate in Louisville. We break down the charges he was already facing and where he was last seen. Plus, self-defense laws in the Commonwealth. That's a hot topic right now following a shooting at the Shively Animal Clinic. We'll break down what certain laws cover. And teachers to stay in the field. It's been a struggle across the nation during the pandemic. Now the issue seems to still be around. A new program that hopes to improve retention.
This is Wade News Sunrise.
Good morning. It is now 6 o'clock on your Friday morning, and thanks for sticking with us here on Sunrise. I'm Olivia Russell with meteorologist Tawana Andrew, and I feel like every time I'm in the weather center, there's something crazy going on. It's an alert day, but it's nice and calm, and I don't feel like I'm getting in the way here.
Oh, no. You're all good. You're never getting in the way. But, yeah, usually when you're over here, there's like some active weather. I'm just like scrambling around trying to get stuff. But today, I'm hands off. Today, we're just chilling, right?
Just chilling. I like that. That's a good forecast.
And hey, after what we've seen for the past couple of months, I think we deserve it. Now, we do see a couple of stray showers in the area, including one that has just popped up in Oldham County. So we're keeping an eye on that just south of LaGrange. But other than that, we are dry to start the day. We do have this boundary in the atmosphere just sitting right across our area. And south of that, we're seeing some 60s as that southerly wind has kicked in, but the cooler air still holding on for those of you further to the north where you're still seeing more of a northerly flow. So that's why it's 49 degrees in Paoli and 53 in North Vernon, while it's 68 in Louisville and 63 for those of you in Litchfield and Columbia. As we head over the next 12 hours, what we're going to be looking at some more of those isolated downpours possible through the afternoon. Temperatures climbing to near 80 degrees. Now, once we get past around 8 p.m., that is when our rain chances start to go up first in Indiana, then for everyone else as a cold front gets closer to our region. So really going to be watching more of that rain overnight into early on your Saturday. So a lot to watch as we get towards the weekend. I'll let you know when this rain is going to be moving out of here in just a bit.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Tawana. An escaped inmate still on the run this morning. I captured this video of a man dangling from a car after kicking out the back window of what we now know was an unmarked SUV transporting him to court. This happened on I-71 and the I-265 interchange right near Norton Brownsboro Hospital around 8:30 yesterday morning. It forced several JCPS schools to keep kids inside until they received an all clear from police. Some of those included Norton Elementary, Westport Middle, Ballard High School, and Kentucky Country Day School. Even some businesses at the Paddock shops also closed their doors when they were notified. So this is the suspect, Norman Wolf. Jailers say he was being taken to a court appearance in Trimble County when he escaped and ran into the woods. This isn't the first time he's dodged police. Before this, he was facing a list of charges, including burglary, evading police, and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. Officers lost sight of Wolf when he ducked into the woods. They say somehow he got to the area off Brownsboro Road. LMPD says he kidnapped 2 victims from a farm on Brownsboro. They were forced to drive him to the area off River Road and Edith Avenue. That's near Champions Park. Those victims weren't hurt in the incident. It happened about 2 hours after escaping law enforcement. Norman Wolf has had run-ins with the law in both Indiana and Kentucky. Despite being described as subdued by Trimble County Jailer Bobby Temple, court records indicate that he has a history of this kind of behavior. Yesterday, police canines, LMPD officers, and ATF agents looked for Wolf. As information was still coming out, people in the area were a little surprised that all this was happening.
And we don't have police activity. We only had one episode of a police activity around here of this nature, and it was over at the Springdale Church several years ago when 2 people were shot and killed over there. Beyond that, we don't have too much activity here.
It is real quiet around here. We don't ever have anything like that going on.
Again, LMPD is still looking for Wolf. If you see him, call their crime tip line at 574-LMPD or call 911. You're directed to not approach him. LMPD is reporting another homicide. A man is dead after a shooting in the Park Hill neighborhood. This happened on Wilson Avenue around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. Police have not released the name of the victim yet, and no arrests have been made. Louisville police need your help finding this man. Investigators say Cartez Cunningham hit somebody in the back of the head with a hatchet in the Portland neighborhood. The victim is still alive. Cunningham is now facing a felony warrant for his arrest for second-degree assault. Police say he has ties to Indiana. If you know where he is, call police. New details are revealed about the mass shooting at Old National Bank. Documents previously sealed by a judge are now public, giving us a glimpse into what detectives were immediately looking for as they started their investigation. It was LMPD's Digital Forensics Unit who wrote up the request to enter the shooter's phone. They asked for access to a number of things, from GPS locations to the cloud, messages, emails, searches, even social media. We now know the shooter legally bought the gun 6 days prior to the shooting. The time frame requested for the warrants started 4 days before that. The detective explains the shooter spoke about his mental state to his girlfriend, but there's no mention of whether that included details of his plans. According to the documents, detectives found multiple links of the crime to his phone, including how to carry it out. They also revealed the shooter attempted to end his life the year before. The documents also mention a manifesto written by the shooter, which was found at his home. That document has not been released. We asked LMPD why not. They say it's still an active investigation and they haven't released it to protect the case. They did add that they plan on releasing more information once it's done. Today, the man killed in a shooting at the Shively Animal Clinic will be laid to rest. The funeral for T.J. Taylor will be held this afternoon at E.M. Coots' son's funeral home. Taylor was shot and killed on Sunday after family says T.J. was working at the clinic with his mother when a customer came in and began arguing with staff. Things turned physical, and they say the woman asked her friend for her purse, pulled out a gun, and shot T.J.
She asked her friend for her purse and for her gun, and then she cocked it. And TJ was outside and he was holding the door shut, and they both went after him to attack him. And so he grabbed her and she shot him.
The case raises questions about what exactly is self-defense under Kentucky law. Shively police haven't charged that woman, saying she's claiming self-defense. They told us their investigation is over and it's now in the hands of the Commonwealth attorney. Self-defense does not keep you from being charged with a crime, especially when someone is killed. Kentucky state law allows you to use deadly force if you believe that someone is trying to kill you, cause you serious harm, kidnap, or rape you, but that doesn't mean you're immune from being charged with murder. The difficulty prosecutors face is proving to a jury that you really thought your life was in danger when you killed someone.
So this becomes incredibly difficult to explain to a jury in self-defense of how all these things are intertwined and how they work.
Lawyers say prosecutors could also bring a lesser charge like manslaughter or reckless homicide. The stay on Indiana's near total abortion ban will likely remain in place for at least the next 4 months. Report Indiana's Court of Appeals will hear oral arguments on the abortion ban case in September. Until the court issues a decision, abortion access in the state will remain available. The case before the 3-judge panel looks at whether the abortion ban approved by lawmakers last August violates the state's religious freedom laws. Tawana, what are the next 12 looking like?
Over the next 12, we are going to keep an eye on the potential for a stray shower or two for this morning, and then a better chance for some isolated downpours as we head into the afternoon. But keep in mind, most of us are going to be dry throughout the day today. It's not till later on tonight that we start to see those rain chances really going up across the region. Looking at the roads, things are still quiet as we're kicking off your Friday.
All right, good to hear. Thank you, Tawana. 6:08 now. In the wake of so many safety concerns in Louisville, Metro government is trying to make downtown safer with a new ambassadors program. What city officials are saying about the project coming up on Sunrise. Keep it here.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
It's 6:11 now on your Friday morning. The Louisville Food Truck Association is taking its next invasion on the road. They're bringing more than 15 trucks to Shepherdsville this weekend. And Wave News reporter Josh Ninke is live at Shepherdsville Park checking it out. What's cooking right now, Josh?
Hey, yeah, this is going to be one of the food trucks that you guys can check out this weekend on Sunday. I've got Jennifer with J-Mo's joining us here. So what do you guys make here at J-Mo's?
We do Japanese hibachi, so New York strip, teriyaki shrimp, teriyaki chicken, hibachi fried rice, grilled veggies.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. That sounds great. And we hear the sizzle right now from the grill. That's awesome. And what made you guys pick hibachi for your food truck?
Well, I'm part Japanese. My grandmother is from Japan. And hibachi's always been my family favorite to go for graduation parties, birthday parties.
Yeah.
They always want to do hibachi. So it was just a natural fit.
Yeah, and you guys are one of the local ones, right?
Yeah, we live right down the street, 6 blocks away.
How long have you guys been doing this?
4.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like most about operating a food truck, especially in a town like Shepherdsville right here?
I love Shepherdsville.
Yeah.
Everybody here is very nice. When I see people commenting on customers, all I can say is in Shepherdsville, our customers are amazing.
Yeah.
Anything we've ever needed, they always come through. So it's just good to live in a small town.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and send Corey, my photographer, in to get a closer look at what you guys are doing. We got about a minute left in our segment here. Something you were telling me is that you guys have a lot of really good reviews, right?
We do. We have perfect reviews. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
We work really hard.
What do you think sets you guys apart?
Customer service, and I make all the sauces homemade. Our food's always good. We taste everything, just like Gordon Ramsay says. You have to taste it before it leaves the kitchen.
Nice.
So we just taste everything.
And with this tasty looking shrimp you guys got right here, walk me through everything we got on this plate.
We got the teriyaki chicken, we got the teriyaki shrimp, hibachi fried rice, and then our grilled fresh vegetables.
Fantastic. That looks delicious. Could you guys hand me a fork real quick? I'm going to see if I can take a quick bite of this while we got just a second left. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, too. Ooh, the sauce.
Yum yum sauce.
Of course, yeah.
Homemade yum yum sauce.
Fantastic. I'm going to take a quick bite here. I'll get a little bit of chicken, a little bit of rice here. This is very good. Now, this is just one of the many food trucks you can check out this Sunday, noon to 5 here at Shepherdsville Park. Definitely want to come out and check out this very cool food truck invasion. We'll have plenty more information for you at wave3.com. Live here in Shepherdsville, Josh Ninke, Wave News.
Josh, don't eat all that. You better be bringing some back to the station.
Back.
Right? Okay, so every time that we're like, the shrimp, chicken, the rice, and the yum yum sauce, we were just going crazy here in the studio, Tawana.
Listen, that food looks so good. And now we have dessert here already to go along with it. We tried that Dr. Pepper ice cream earlier. So, I mean, you know, sharing is caring, Josh Ninke, if you can still hear me. We're keeping an eye on this cold front that's off towards our northwest. That's going to arrive later on tonight. But out ahead of it, we kind of have this boundary that's draped across wave country. And to the south of it, seeing a little bit more of that moisture, seeing a little bit more of that warmth pushing in. But for those of you further to the north, you still have that cooler air coming in from the north. So we're going to keep an eye on everything moving through the area right now, including a couple of sprinkles moving out of Oldham County and towards Smithfield right now. So we can keep an eye on those, but that's really the extent of any rain that we're seeing across the region right now. I mentioned that northerly flow still going on for those of you in southern Indiana. That's why you're seeing upper 40s, low 50s in your area. But further to the south, where that southerly wind is already doing its thing, we're sitting in the 60s across Kentucky. Now, here's what we're expecting throughout the rest of the day. We're going to be seeing a mix of sun and clouds for the morning, some additional clouds for the afternoon, but still climbing into the upper 70s and low 80s for our highs, especially going to see those low 80s in spots where you get more of that sunshine. Now, as we head through the afternoon, a stray shower or thunderstorm certainly possible, but most of us do look to stay dry. That is until after around 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Those of you in southern Indiana are going to start to see some more of those showers and thunderstorms moving into your region. That rain becoming more widespread towards midnight, keeping those rounds of rain into early Saturday morning. And once we approach around 8 a.m. Saturday, we'll have a lot drier conditions already showing up in southern Indiana. But for those of you across Kentucky, it's going to take a little while longer for that rain to move out. By the time we reach around 11 a.m. come Saturday morning, most of us along and north of the parkways look to be mainly dry. But south of the parkways, some of these isolated showers will remain in your forecast into the early afternoon. The clouds clear through the afternoon for everyone, allowing us to climb into into the upper 60s and low 70s for highs tomorrow, and we'll keep those skies on the clear side for your Saturday night. Now, in terms of how much rain we're looking at, around half an inch for most of us. Some of you can see a little bit more than that as we see the several rounds of rain in the forecast through the overnight hours. So once you get rid of that rain come Saturday afternoon, for those of you further to the south, everybody looks to stay dry through most of next week. Notice, we're not really talking about rain chances at all, but we are going to be talking about a little bit of a taste of summer with some 80s arriving on Monday. And then we could be approaching 90 degrees by the end of next week.
Well, what happened to spring?
Oh, don't worry, that'll come back. The Ohio Valley, we are going to be up and down before summer actually starts.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you, Tawana. City leaders hope a new ambassadors program will help make the Louisville Medical and Educational District a bit safer. The downtown district is home to JCTC, Norton Healthcare, U of L Health, and the U of L Health Sciences Center. Through the program, ambassadors will be helping visitors, employees, and students in the area. A 2022 survey found safety was the #1 concern for people who commonly walk in the area.
In addition to the $300 million that our partners have collectively invested or will be investing in their own campuses, the LUMED partners decided that we needed to address safety right away, even before announcing an executive director. So the $1 million yearly investment in partnership with Block by Block began in March. And they're here to provide safety, cleaning, wayfinding, hospitality services to our district.
City leaders say more than 16,000 people work in the district and 1.5 million people visit the district each year. Louisville rapper Jack Harlow is celebrating the release of his first movie. The Baxter Avenue Theater rolled out the red carpet for a special showing of White Men Can't Jump. The film is a modern remix to the 1992 classic that starred Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. Jack Harlow plays the character Jeremy. Harlow says it's surreal to now see himself on the same big screen that he watched as a kid growing up.
I saw a ton of movies here growing up. It's my favorite theater, so it means a lot. I don't like other places as much as I like here, and it's a basketball state, basketball movie. I felt like the city would want to see it. I don't know, I just wanted to see it with my loved ones.
Such a cool opportunity there. So if you want to check it out, White Men Can't Jump starts streaming today on Hulu. It's 6:19 now. 10,000 bridges across the country are in need of safety inspections, according to new data. The causes and the effects of the breakdown coming up ahead on Sunrise.
Here's a look at the current Kentucky Lottery jackpots. The Kentucky Lottery, over $4.4 billion in grants and scholarships.
On a beautiful spring day, Louisville fifth graders helped bring some light to a senior living facility. Students from Holy Trinity helped spruce up the outdoor patios of Dominion Senior Living off of US 42 near the Watterson. Students spent the day planting flowers near personal care and memory care and making friends with the residents there. The community relations manager says the residents are grateful and look forward to watching the gardens grow. That is so cool and so sweet of them. And a great time to start planting gardens right now, right, Tawana?
Yeah, usually we tell everybody to wait until after Mother's Day, after Derby Day, because that really allows you a little bit more time for the warmth to actually kick in. And we are really going to see that warmth kicking in over the next 10 days. For today, upper 70s, low 80s for highs, an isolated rain chance. Rain moving in overnight, sticking around into early Saturday morning. And then once we get into Saturday afternoon, drier, clearing clouds, temperatures in the 70s for highs. More of those 70s on Sunday with plenty of sunshine. And then we just get stuck in the 80s. In fact, by the end of next week, we're going to keep more of that dry weather in the forecast. And potentially, depending on a couple of systems that are going to be rolling nearby, but potentially we could be pretty close to 90 degrees by the end of next week.
Whew, time to break out the shorts. Thank you, Tawana. New on Sunrise, we're following updates in what police are calling a targeted workplace shooting just outside of Dayton, Ohio. Kathleen Ninke has the latest in this Wave News Alert.
Olivia, police say that shooter walked into the D-Max Automotive plant after 10 last night in Moraine, Ohio, and started shooting. One man was killed, another shot and in the hospital. Police are giving an update at 8 a.m. today. We're hoping to learn more because they haven't released the suspect's identity nor the victims. But they have already said it appears the shooter planned this attack and targeted those victims. The shooter's also in the hospital with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, still alive at this hour. Olivia?
All right, we'll continue to follow that. Thank you, Kathleen. A man in charge of an Indiana funeral home where families say they were given the wrong remains is expected to change his plea to guilty. Randy Langford is facing 3 felony theft charges in connection to the case. Langford is expected to enter a guilty plea today. He was the director of Langford Funeral Homes in Jeffersonville. Police found 31 decomposed bodies inside the funeral home last year, along with more than a dozen remains that had already been cremated. Langford is also facing more than 24 civil cases related to the incident. A man facing child pornography charges that stem from the investigation into the murders of 2 Indiana girls may want to withdraw his guilty plea. Attorneys for Keegan Kline made the surprise announcement just as his sentencing was set to begin. A social media page that was in communication with one of the girls prior to her death. On Valentine's Day 2017, Abby Williams and Liberty German were found dead on a hiking trail. Kline, who has never been named a suspect in that homicide investigation, but police believe one of the fake profiles he created was used to exchange messages with German up to 24 hours before her disappearance. He's currently facing charges related to child pornography, child solicitation, and child exploitation. He entered a guilty plea in March without a deal on sentencing. Kline's attorney said he has not seen some of the evidence that is against him and asked for the sentencing hearing to be delayed. The judge agreed, and that sentencing is now scheduled for June 1st. Richard Allen was charged with murder last year for allegedly killing the 2 teenagers. The National Transportation Safety Board says 10,000 bridges across the nation need to be inspected for a potential safety hazard. During the investigation into a 2022 bridge collapse in Pittsburgh, investigators found some corrosion in places that it was so severe it caused holes in the bridge's legs. The NTSB says the uncoated weathering steel had not been properly maintained. The board is urging the Federal Highway Administration to work with departments of transportation across the U.S. to inspect the 10,000 bridges that were made with that material. 6:27 now. JCPS has been short-staffed for quite some time now, but now they're hiring more than 24 new teachers. What one of those teachers had to say coming up.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
It's now 6:30 on your Friday morning, and here's a great act of kindness. Hilton Hodges is a Metro employee who works in the same building as LMPD's Community Engagement Unit. Sergeant Tony Sakura found out Hodges' truck broke down recently, and without any other way to work, he was forced to walk almost 2 hours each way. So with some help from Walmart, Sergeant Sakura was able to get him a bike until his car can get fixed. A positive story to start your Friday morning. And, you know, that's going to get tough going outside, period, when it's so hot outside.
Yeah, and just, really having that bike, especially as we get more into the summer months, really, I know that's going to be so helpful for him. Because walking 2 hours,
that shows
that kind of heat.
Dedication, though. I have to applaud him, too. 2 hours. Wow.
That is incredible. So thank you to them for doing that for him. And it's really nice to see that smile on his face as well. And maybe everybody can, you know, go out for a walk or ride or, you know, just saunter outside today, because we are going to see some pretty nice weather overall. We are keeping an eye on a couple of stray showers, though, popping up in parts of Wave Country, seeing a few of those showing up in portions of Breckenridge County and Meade County. And then for those of you further to the northeast into Henry County, a couple of sprinkles for you. But that's really the extent of any rain that we have across the area. We do have this boundary kind of just setting up shop right along the Ohio River, and south of it, we're seeing more of that southerly wind. North of it, more of that cooler northerly air, and that is why we're seeing such a temperature difference across the region. 48 degrees right now in Paoli, but it's 64 right now in Bardstown and 64 in Hardinsburg. So that southerly wind further to the south already kicking in, but everybody going to warm up pretty easily as we head over the next couple of hours. So for today, we're going to see an isolated rain chance around through the morning into the afternoon. But the majority of our rain moves in after midnight tonight, and we'll keep that rain around into your Saturday morning. But keep in mind, the entire weekend is not looking like a washout at all. I will break down the rain chances as we get into the second half of your Saturday and Sunday in just a bit.
All right, that's good to hear. Thank you, Tawana. Indiana State Police are trying to determine how an inmate at the Harrison County Jail died. Joshua Kepley was found dead in his cell around 6 o'clock Thursday morning. Kepley was arrested Wednesday on a felony neglect charge. His arrest came while officers responded to an overdose call involving Kepley. Before he was booked into the jail, he received medical clearance at Harrison County Hospital. Investigators are waiting on an autopsy and toxicology report. A Louisville man will spend 17 years in prison for his role in trafficking fentanyl and meth. Charles Bethel was convicted on drug trafficking charges. Investigators say they found more than 500 grams of meth and more than 40 grams of fentanyl on him when he was arrested. Bethel will be put in a federal prison with no chance at parole. More than 24 teachers are about to join JCPS. 32 students just graduated from the Louisville Teacher Residency Program. The partnership between U of L and JCPS allows people with a job or bachelor's degree in another field to get a master's degree in teaching in just 1 year. In return, graduates commit to teach 5 years for Jefferson County Public Schools. Graduates say it's their chance to make a difference in the community.
Teachers, therapists, social work, we everything. I just don't think it's kind of a lost art. I think a lot of people don't really appreciate teachers like they used to, and that's okay, but me and my cohort members, we're coming to change that.
The new teachers will be placed inside JCPS classrooms this August. The Kentucky Department of Education hopes a new program will help keep teachers here in the Commonwealth. The Rank Change program allows teachers to take college classes without having to go back to a traditional school. Education leaders say the classes help them move up professionally and earn higher salaries. Teachers say it helps them move at their own pace and keeps them employed.
Obviously, if you have a family, if you're busy, your kids are in sports, you got a lot of things going on, you can manage it. Like, it's not a deadline type of thing. My advice would be go ahead, make time for yourself, get that rank, because ultimately it's going to affect you forever.
The Kentucky Department of Education reports that 72% of current teachers are at risk of leaving their jobs soon. People working in Hardin County schools will be getting a pay raise soon. The Hardin County Board of Education voted in favor of a 2% raise for all employees. A few other positions will even see even more increases. The district says they've raised wages for custodians, buildings and ground staff, and student transportation mechanic salaries to compete with the private sector. Salaries in the districts have been raised by a total of 9.5% over the last 6 years. We're now hearing from Keeneland after it signed a new deal with Caesars Sportsbook. Through the partnership, sports betting will be offered online and at the racetrack. Keeneland's president says the move will bring more people to the track and help get horse racing in front of a new crowd of fans.
And to have a model racetrack, we need fans, and we are really fortunate in Lexington because our community embraces us. People love April and October because it means it's time to come out to watch the races at Keeneland. And the more eyes that we can get on our sport, the better for us.
The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission still needs to release regulations for sports betting. All of the state's racetracks, including Churchill Downs, will be able to take bets. Keeneland says it hopes everything will be set up in time for football season. And we're getting closer to seeing Derby winner Mage run in the Preakness. Mage arrived at Pimlico earlier this week. Mage is the only Derby contender running in the Preakness this weekend.
Well, the fresher horses, of course, it's a position where sometimes maybe we wanted to have more space, but it's a Triple Crown, that's the way it's been set up.
If you want to cheer on Mage, you can watch the Preakness at 4:30 tomorrow right here on Wave and NBC. Churchill Downs After Dark returns to Churchill Downs today, and track leaders are asking for your help. So Churchill Downs is collecting shoes for Water Step. For each new or gently used sneakers donated to Water Step, guests will receive 2 tickets to Twilight Thursday on May 25th. Donated shoes are sold by Water Step to raise funds that support their work to provide safe water solutions to third world communities and those impacted by disasters. Gates open at 5 o'clock this afternoon with the first race starting at 6. And Tawana, the big question, when's that rain going to hit today?
Well, we're already seeing a couple of stray showers here and there. We're going to keep that chance around throughout the day. But once we get later on into tonight, especially as we approach midnight, that is when more widespread rain will start to come into the forecast. But overall, a pretty start for many of us, but just a mix of sun and clouds to start the day. And looking at the roads, still quiet. Let's knock on this table that it stays that way. We'll talk more about tonight's rain chance after the break.
Norton Commons Art Festival returning this weekend, and organizers are expecting another record-setting attendance. So we have a couple artists joining us now. We have Liz and Shakia. So thank you all so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, I want you all to explain exactly what kind of art you all make, because I'm just looking at it and I don't think some of this is going to make it out of the building.
Thank you. Well, I make contemporary oil paintings. I use palette knives and loose brush strokes, so you can expect to see a lot of textured, bright, and vibrant works.
And what about you, Liz?
I make a lot of jewelry, necklaces, hand-painted pots. Also do hand-cut paper collage work. The jewelry's made with a lot of stone, Czechoslovakian glass beads, as well as wood. All kinds of weird elements I can find all over.
Well, I've even noticed the cat earrings. Obviously, those stand out. Are you a cat lady too?
Actually, I'm a dog person.
Okay.
I give props to the cat people. I love the cat people. You know, more of a dog person, but everybody loves the cats.
Well, I was going to say, you must know your audience here.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got to ask, how did you all get started in this art?
Well, I got started actually as a means of therapy. I was dealing with a lot of traumatic incidences, and so I just started to kind of paint to clear my mind, and then it kind of took a mind of its own.
It's beautiful too, and amazing what can happen when you're just trying to express yourself.
Absolutely.
And what about you, Liz?
This actually, I've always been an artist and done art, but I waited tables for over 20 years and got furloughed when COVID happened. So I didn't have childcare and got furloughed, and then started making the collage work and delivering things to people's houses because they couldn't shop anywhere for presents for people. So with COVID, kind of like kick-started some more art for me.
Okay, okay. So I know Tawana's been asking, do you all have social media where we can find you if you're not there at Norton Commons this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. On Instagram and Facebook, you can find me at Shakia Harris Art, and you can also visit my website, shakiaharrisart.com.
Mine is Lion Palace Liz on Instagram, and if you want to friend me or find me on Facebook, I pretty much accept everybody. If you're interested in buying stuff, especially, it's Liz Morley, just Liz Morley on Facebook.
Okay, but I think people should see you all at Norton Commons this weekend too. What should people look forward to, and what can they expect there?
They can expect lots of events. There's literally something there for everyone. There's art in every single corner. There's also music, food, drinks, you name it.
And we're seeing that video right there. You can see how big it is too. I mean, Liz, you're saying this is the first year you've ever done this. Why did you want to be part of something like this?
Oh, you know, I kind of live out there now, not in that neighborhood, but live closer, and it just kind of popped up, and I was like, I'm going to try this year. And for everybody who wants to know, I'm right next to the beer and wine tent, so I've got a great location.
Do you know where you are?
I'm across from her.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So as you're having some beer or wine, I don't know, maybe people can do their shopping before they do their drinking or drinking first, and maybe it'll sell better. I don't know. That's up to you all, however you all want to handle that. But Tawana, I know we're crossing our fingers hoping for some good weather this weekend.
We will have some good weather this weekend, so that's certainly some good news there. And I am following both of y'all on Instagram now. You gotta get in with those local artists, right? And the sky looks like a painting right now as we're watching that sun coming up in Simpsonville. We have some rain that will be coming our way. I'll let you know when to expect it after the break. Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Meteorologist Tawana Andrew here with a check of your forecast. And we're looking from downtown Louisville off towards the east, and we're seeing the beginnings of a beautiful sunrise, some clouds overhead. Absolutely gorgeous out there to start off the day. Now, we have a cold front that is off towards our northwest. That will arrive later on tonight, but until that point, we kind of have this boundary just hanging out with us, sitting over wave country. And to the south of it, we're starting to see more of that moisture, more of that warmth kicking in with a southerly wind. Further to the north, you're still on the cooler side, but we're all just seeing a mix of sun and clouds to kick off your Friday. We are watching a few stray showers, one near Brandenburg and one near Rosetta, and that is basically it across the region. So I mentioned, of course, the impact that those temperatures are having, or the wind is having on our temperatures because of that boundary. Most of you south of that boundary, so basically along and south of the Ohio River, you're sitting in the 60s right now. Further to the north, a touch cooler, upper 40s and low 50s, but we are all going to easily warm up as the day goes along. In fact, we're going to be talking about some 70s showing up for highs later on this afternoon for most of us. Some of us could touch those low 80s. That's a little bit more likely in the Louisville metro. But we will watch for some additional clouds moving in for the afternoon. That potential for a couple of isolated downpours through the afternoon into the evening. But it's not till really after 9, 10 o'clock tonight that we start to see more of that rain moving in with the cold front getting closer. And we're going to keep an eye on that rain becoming more widespread through the overnight hours into early on your Saturday. So that rain could be a little bit heavy at times. Here we are Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Southern Indiana, you should be on the drier side, but still some clouds overhead. Now, for those of you along and south of the parkways, you're still going to be dealing with some showers, it looks like, through that time frame. And it may take until the early afternoon for those of you south of the parkways to completely get rid of the rain. But most of us by lunchtime should be dry. Now, the clouds will clear through the afternoon, allowing us to climb into the upper 60s and low 70s for highs for tomorrow. In terms of rainfall, we're looking at around half of an inch to an inch of rain across the region. And that is it. Some pockets of heavier rain could lead to higher totals, but overall, we're not expecting a whole lot from this system, especially since it's so quick moving. Here's what your 10-day is showing. Once we dry out Saturday afternoon, we stay dry for the rest of the 10-day. We do have to watch a couple of systems that may roll nearby for the end of next week, but for right now, things are trending dry with the high pressure just staying in control of our weather and temperatures eventually trying to approach 90 degrees for a high by the end of next week.
But hey, I like that 10-day right there. I like it.
Not at all. Hey, we need some quiet weather. We deserve those.
You deserve this, Tawana. That's for sure. Thank you, Tawana. Well, if you're looking for some of the best food all in one place, you can check out Shepherdsville this weekend. They're hosting a food truck invasion this Sunday. Wave News reporter Josh Ninke is live at Shepherdsville Park with a preview and some delicious food.
Hey, Olivia, this is a place that you're going to want to be coming up on this Sunday. I'm here in front of JMO's, one of the trucks that'll be serving some hibachi for you on Sunday. I've also got the mayor, Jose Cabero, and Troy King, head of the Food Truck Association, to tell us a bit more about what to expect. So, Troy, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
What all do you guys have in store for folks on Sunday?
A bunch of all different kind of foods. You know, I looked at the list, and it actually is like a who's who far as international food as well.
Nice.
I mean, we got a Puerto Rican truck. We have an Irish truck. We've got Cone Ahi, which is a Colombian truck. We got all kind of different desserts. We got Slushy Lab. We got seafood. We got lobster. I mean, you're not going to find this array of food anywhere else.
No kidding. Come to Shepherdsville Park to go around the world.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Mayor, what do you want folks to walk away from this event thinking? Because obviously this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very diverse. Yeah. I think for a lot of folks here, we go to different places to actually eat out. This is going to be an opportunity to get a sample of a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And the reason we look at it is it's fun for the family that's out here, but it's about our community. It's really about keeping everybody connected and being out here. But this is an opportunity for more things to actually come out here, more type of restaurants that we can have because of some of the appeal of some of the foods that Troy is mentioning. This is going to be fun. Like I said, and again, bring your fork and get hungry. That's really what we want to see in this.
And as far as, you know, the logistics, I know parking is something you guys are working on to make sure that it's nice and smooth for everybody when they come out, right?
Absolutely. It's obviously, this is an area that's going to be concentrated with all the food trucks out here. Just making sure we navigate it, making it a very friendly atmosphere to get in here and get out when you want to get to. But I think for us, we just want you to have fun and really enjoy our city of it. We want people to start coming out here to Shepherdsville and seeing what we have to offer. So we got a lot of big things coming up.
And Troy, we got about 30 seconds, so real quick, run me down the when, the where, and what else we got happening.
Shepherdsville Park, in Shepherdsville. 12 to 5, Sunday, May 21st. There's going to be alcoholic beverages provided by Crowder Catering. We're also going to have a band called The Swerve from 2 to 5. Mr. C's Cheesecake. There's just so much. I get hungry thinking about all the food that's going to be here. So.
Should be a lot of fun. And here's, again, just a little bit of a sample of what you can check. Look at this portion size. This is fantastic. We'll, of course, have all that information for you at wave3.com so you can check out what's going on this weekend. Live here in Shepherdsville, Josh Ninke, Wave News.
Well, now you're just bragging with that plate right there, Josh. Thank you. We are looking forward to it. It's 6:50 now. The countdown to summer is on, and that means plenty of people will be flocking to beaches nationwide. If you're looking for the best spot to get some fun in the sun, tune in this morning to Today for the reveal of the annual list of the country's top 10 beaches.
I'm Kathleen Ninke with this Wave News Alert on the big stories we're watching today. In Italy, the death toll is now up to 14 as flooding continues in the Emilia-Romagna region. Landslides cover many roadways. Thousands don't have running water, they don't have electricity, and they haven't for days. And today, meteorologists are watching the situation as more rains are expected to hit that area. The G7 summit continues in Japan. You're looking at a meeting of world leaders in Hiroshima. Already, the Group of Seven has announced new sanctions against Russia, trying to cut off the country's funding sources for its ongoing war on Ukraine. President Biden is there, of course, and President Zelensky will even be there later this weekend. This afternoon, the alleged Pentagon leaker and U.S. military member Jack Teixeira will be in court for a continued detention hearing. We'll keep you updated. And tonight at 11, the WNBA regular season begins, which means Brittany Griner will play for the first time since her months-long imprisonment in Russia. Her Phoenix Mercury are taking on the L.A. Sparks. Olivia.
All right, thank you, Kathleen. The Falls of the Ohio will be closing down its interpretive center for the summer. Our partners at the News and Tribune report the park is having a complete overhaul on the building and will replace its HVAC units. The closure starts on Monday, and it won't reopen until October 22nd. The park, fossil beds, picnic areas, trails, and outdoor programs will be open as usual during the renovations. The Fleur de Lis Vintage Market is returning to the Waterfront Festival Plaza Memorial Day weekend. More than 200 vendors will be selling antiques, vinyls, vintage clothing, and other collectibles. The event is free. It all starts at 9 o'clock on May 27th. And Tawana, seems like this is festival time.
It really is, and we got some good festival weather in the forecast, so we'll take it. Now, we are watching this beautiful sunrise showing up on our SkyTrack camera downtown, so off to a great start, and we're seeing temperatures right now sitting in the 60s. For those of you further to the south, some 40s and low 50s further to the north as well, so we'll keep an eye on those temperatures, but everybody going to warm up as the day goes along. In fact, we're going to be talking about some 70s for highs later on this afternoon, some of you getting pretty close to 80 degrees. Overall, only an isolated rain chance as we head throughout the day today, but more of that rain moves in for later on tonight. And here is your 10-day. We're going to be talking about a little bit more of that rain lasting into portions of your Saturday morning, but then the rest of the 10-day, what rain? We're going to be A-okay. But for those of you who've already done your planting, just keep in mind that you're going to have to do some extra watering as we head over the next 10 days.
I need to remember that I usually barely remember to water them at all.
Yeah, so
sorry.
Let's keep those plants alive.
Water and sunscreen. Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
You're on it, Olivia. Those are your weekend plans right there.
Have a great Friday.
Get live streaming news, 24-hour weather, investigations, podcasts, and more. All for free with Wade Now.